This conference will now be recorded.
So today we will discuss about date functions. So if I want to display today's date, it will show you the date, okay, current date. You have a function today equals type today, open and close the bracket. It will show you the date. So it is showing you first month, then date, and then year. So you should notice in your system in the taskbar date is displayed in which format. You have to first check it out. Okay, if you want your date, if you want any date to be entered in your Excel sheet, it should be entered in this format only. In your taskbar you have date. Okay, so it is showing you the date in the format that is month, date and year. Okay, now it is showing you today's date. Okay, now we'll just check it out. We have different date formats, right? So first I'll type month, then I'll type the date, and then I'll type the year. Okay. Now if I want to drag using fill hand, you can just drag it. Okay. I'm dragging up to 10 days. Okay. That is December 1st to December 10th. Okay. Date, it should be in this format. Okay. Now, if I want my date to be displayed in different formats, so using this fill hand, in the end you have this plus sign, just drag it. Okay, you have date in different formats. So if it is showing you ash symbol, so there is no error here. So you wanted your date to be displayed, you want your date to be displayed properly, you have to increase the column width. Either you can double click here or you can go for home tab. Under home tab you have auto fit to column width. If you click on this, it will fit to your column width and you are able to see the column value properly. Any doubts in this? You have any doubts in this? Are you people there? Okay. Now I want this date to be displayed in different format. In the B column, from first row to 10th row, I am selecting this date. Here you have date. Okay. You can go for short date. Now it is showing you in short date only. If you want, you can go for long date. Click on this long date. It is going to show you day, date, day, month, date and year. Now if I want this column to be displayed in different format, click here, go to more number formats. More number format. There you go for date. Okay, category is date. Here type in which format you wanted your date to be displayed. So I want first date, month and year. Year should be in 2 digit. See, month it is showing you in abbreviated form in three characters. Again select this format, select this column. In the home tab you have date here. Click on this, go to more number format. Under category date, here you have different date formats. So I want month fully spelled out, then date and then year. Year should be in 4 digit. Okay. Again, I'll select this, go here, more number format. I want to display date, month and year. Year should be in 4 digits, like this. Okay. If you want even date and time, select this column, click here, more number format. I'll select this date as well as time. So date also should be displayed. I want even the time. Okay. If you don't want this column, select it and delete. So you can first type the date, but it should be typed in the format which is shown below here. Okay, in the taskbar, date is shown in which format. In that format, you have to type the date in that cell and then try to drag it. Date will get generated. Okay, so I've told you if you want to display the current date, type equals, type today. Open and close the bracket. It will show you the current date. If you want to display current date as well as time, this will show you current date. If you want to display current date and time, you can type equals now. Now function is going to show you current date and time. So control semicolon. Control semicolon, it will show you current date. Control semicolon. Control semicolon, it's going to show you current date. Control shift semicolon. Control shift semicolon, it's going to show you the current time. Okay, here it is not set properly, so it's showing you some other time. Okay, so current date and time. So only current date you wanted, you can as well as use control semicolon. So control shift semicolon will give you the current time. Okay, any doubts in this? Okay. So network days. So in Excel, you have one more function, network days. This function it is used to calculate the number of working days, excluding weekend and any holidays between two dates. Okay, it will not consider weekend and holidays. Okay, syntaxes network days, start date, end date, holidays. Okay, start date is the starting date, end date is the ending date, holidays, range of one or more dates to exclude. Okay, such as public holidays. So this is optional, and if omitted, no holidays will be excluded. Okay. I have start date in this column. Okay, I have some dates for the year 2015 and 16, ending date also. Then you have holiday names, okay, and holiday dates. Okay, now always formula should commence with an equal sign. This is uh, my function name is network date. It has got start date, end date, and holidays. Okay, start date is A2 cell, end date is B2 cell, holidays. Okay, holidays, you have that holidays in G column, first G column second row to G column fifth row. Okay, this you make it as constant. You bring your cursor before the G, you press function key F4 in your keyboard. Okay, so this you're making it as constant. Select this range in your formula bar. Before G, press function key F4. Again function key F4. Okay. Now start date is December 30th, 2015. End date is December 31st, 2015. Okay. So number of working days between these two dates is 2 days. Okay. Now using fill hand, if you drag it, okay, see, it has copied to other cells also. Now December 30th to Jan 4th. Okay. So this is the start date, end date. In between, if you have any holidays, okay, you have one holiday in January 1st. So how many days will be there? Okay. Only those days will be considered. Number of working days will be 3 days here. Any doubts in this? Okay. So it will take starting date, ending date, and if you have any holiday, that will be taken, okay, and then it will show you number of working days, excluding holidays as well as if you have any weekdays. Ends. Excluding weekends and holidays. Okay. So you have one more function, that is network dates dot intl. So this function in Excel is more flexible. Okay. It allows you to specify which days of the week are considered, whether weekdays, weekend, Sunday should be taken into consideration or Saturday, Sunday. Okay. So the syntax is network days, start date, end date, weekday, and holidays. Okay. Start date is starting date, end date. So week end. Whether you wanted only Saturdays, you can select Saturdays. If you have Saturday, Sunday, both it can be selected. Okay. And any public holidays you have. So Saturday and Sunday means it is one. Sunday and Monday is the code is 2. Monday, Tuesday code is 3. Tuesday, Wednesday code is 4. Wednesday, Thursday code is 5. Thursday, Friday the code is 6. Friday and Saturday the code is 7. So we'll see with an example here. So this is about the network days INTL. INTL, this function. Okay. Here additional what you have is which is the weekend need to be taken. Okay. Now starting date is 1st of January 21 to 31st January 21. Okay. Now in that, in the starting and ending date, which are the weekends, whether it is only Sunday or whether it is Saturday and Sunday, you can take that. And if you have any holidays, that also should be taken. Okay. So what I'm doing is equals network days INTL, open the bracket, starting date is 1st of January 21, ending date is 31st Jan 21, weekend. Weekend is, I'll take it as only Sunday, number will be 11. Okay. Then if you have any holidays, so holidays range you are selecting from E2 cell to E5 cell. Okay. Close the bracket, enter. So number of working days from 1st of January to 31st of Jan. So excluding Sundays and excluding holidays in that particular month. In January, how many days leaves are there? 3 days, as well as Sundays. After excluding that, total working days is 23. Are you understanding? Any doubts in this? See, equals network days. Starting dates is 1st of January 21. Ending date is 31st of Jan. That is in 1 month. Okay, in 1 month, which is your weekend. You're not working on which are the days you're not working. You're not working on Sundays. Okay. only Sunday, or you can select Saturday and Sunday. Okay, now I'll go for this. See, if you want Saturday and Sunday, you can select this one. I'll go only with Sunday. So from 1st of January to 31st of January, 31 days are there. In 31 days, how many Sundays are there in the month of January in that year? Suppose you have 4 Sundays. So 4 Sundays will get cancelled. Okay. And how many holidays are there? 3 holidays. Okay. 3 holidays. That is 1st of January is New Year, 14th is Pongal, 26th is Republic Day. So you are selecting this range. Okay, in this January you have 3 days holiday. So next total number of working days in that month is only how many days? 23 days you have worked. Is that clear? Any doubts? Now you have understood. If you want to make any column constant, then you can use it. If not, you need not use it. Okay. You try with Saturday, Sunday also, and then holidays column. Then you check it out how many days is your working day. Next you have date diff. I want to know the date difference. So date difference function is used to calculate the difference between two dates. Okay, two dates in various units, such as it can be year, it can be month, or it can be days. Okay, so the syntax is you have date diff, starting date, ending date. It can be month, unit can be month, M means month, D means days, Y means year. Then you have start date, the starting of the period, end date, end of the period, unit, the type of difference you want to calculate. It can be year difference, month difference, and days difference. So always formula should commence with an equal sign. Here I have start date, end date, and units, whether you want days different, month different, or year difference in between these two dates. So equals date diff is the function. Open the bracket. I want to know the difference between starting and ending date. That is, I want to know the date difference. I'll type D. D means date difference I wanted to know. Is equal to date diff, open the bracket. This is my starting date. This is my ending date. I want to know the days different, type D. So days difference, okay, between August 5th, 2012 to February 9th, 2021. So many, that is 3110 days difference you have. If you want to know the month difference, equals date diff. So between August 5th, 2012 to February 9th, 2021, how many months difference you have? Okay, you want to get the month difference. So select the start date, put a comma, end date, and then within double quotes type M. I want to know the month difference between these 2 years, between that year to 2021, from 2012 to 2021. So you have month difference of 102. So if I want to know the year difference, equals date diff, open the bracket. This is my start date. You are mentioning the cell reference. You are in A column, 7th row. This is my end date. I want to know the year difference. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So year difference, it will show you 8 years difference between August 5th, 2012 to February 9th, 2021. Any doubts you have regarding date difference function? Any doubts? Okay. Next you have end of month. Now we are in December month. In December month, what is the end of the date? In December, what is the end of the date? Which is the last date of this month? So 31st December. So I want to know in that month which is the last date. So end of month function in Excel returns the last day of the month. Okay. So syntax is end of month, start date, and months. If you want to know the months difference. So have service date and end of the month equals end of month. Starting date is this one, that is 4th 4 to 2023. Okay. Month. If I don't mention anything, if I just type 0, okay, so it's going to show you end of the month, that is March 30th. Okay. In that month only, what is the last date you will come to know. Suppose if you want to add 2 more months, instead of giving 0 here, if I give 0, it will show you for that date what is the end of the, in that month what is the last date. Okay. Suppose if I give 2 months, now it was March 2nd 2013. If you add 2 months, what will be the date? March 2nd 2013. For that, if you add 2 months, what is the output it has to be displayed? 4th March 2013. If I add 0, it will show you March 30th. If I add 2 means month. If I add 2 months, what it has to show the output? What is the output it has to display? So if I press enter, it is adding 2 months. You are in which month? You are in March. You are in March 2nd. March 2nd 2013 means it will show you March 30th 2013. But if I add 2 months, it will be March, April. For March, you are adding 2 months. So it will add 2 months, and in that month, last day will be the date that is going to display. Sorry, April. For April, you are adding 2 months. So it will show you June 30th. I told by mistake March, it is April. For April, if I add 2 months, it will show you June 30th. Have you understood? Okay. See, this is March, sorry, April. April 2nd, 2013. April 2nd, 2013 is my date. Okay. In April, what is the last date? It is 30th of April. If you want to get it as 30th of April equals end of month is my function. End of month, this is my date. If I put a comma, how many months you wanted to add? I don't want to add any month. I'll just make it as 0. So in that case, what it happens? In the same month, what will be the last date? So it is April 2nd. Now April 2nd is the service date. What is the end of that month? It will be 30th of March, 30th of April. Okay. Now same thing here. It is May 18th. What will be the last date? Is equal to end of month. This is my starting date. Number of months, if I don't give anything, it will show you 31st May. But for May, if I add 2 months, 2 months if I add July 31st, it has to show me. Any doubts? Okay. Next, you have one more function, that is eDate. So in Excel, eDate function is used to return a date that is specified number of months before or after the date. Okay. Now today is what date? Today is December 19th. If I give 2 months before December, so it will be what date? It will be 2 months before December 19th. What will be the date? Today is December 19th. So 2 months prior months, it will be which month? So it will be October 19th. If you add 2 months for December if you add 2 months, so it should be February 19th. So that is the date what it has to display now. I have start date, I have months. Okay, I have mentioned the months. If I add number of months, what will be the output? Okay, so is equal to e date. It has got start date. This is my start date. That is March 10th. For March 10th, if I add 2 months instead of 15, if I add 2 months, so it will show you May 10th. Okay, instead of 2 months, if I add 15 months, then it will show you June 10th, 2014. Okay, if you add 2 months, it will show you May 10th, 2013. If you add 15 months, so similarly is equal to e date. Start date is May 15th, 2015. For that, if you add 3 months, so it's going to show you the output as August 15th. Okay. 3 months you are adding for May. Any doubts you have? Any doubts you have? Okay. So in formula tab, I've told you about auto sum function. I've told you about text function. I've told you about date function. I've told you about mathematical, statistical, logical function. I've told you about create from selection because my formula keeps changing for each and every cell. I don't want that cell reference to be changed. How to define a name. Okay, and how to use create from selection. I've told you about trace precedent, trace dependence. So how the total value you have arrived at and how you have taken the cell reference of an existing cell for different cells. Then you will be going for trace dependence. Any doubts in this? Any doubts? No doubts? Okay. In tomorrow's class, I'll be telling you about lookup functions. Today we will take another separate topic. Okay. So today we will discuss about page layout. So here I have one database. In that I have salesperson, region and sales amount. Okay. So in page setup or in page layout, okay, I'll directly go with page setup dialog box. Instead of selecting it individually here, I'll go from this page setup dialog box. You can see one arrow mark here. If I click on this, it's going to show you the page setup dialog box. Okay. So page setup, what it does, it allows us to change the orientation. So you have two types of orientation. While taking print out, you can print the content on your paper either vertically or horizontally. So vertical is your portrait, horizontal is your landscape. Okay, see, you can just see the preview on your page. The content will be printed in this format. Okay, it will be vertical. If I want to change the orientation, if I click on print preview again, you can see here you have page setup. Click on this once again, the dialog box will appear. I can change the orientation to landscape. So in the landscape, my content will be printed horizontally. But now it is not showing you any rows and columns. But in your worksheet, it is showing you rows and columns. These are nothing but your grid lines. Grid lines will not appear while printing. For that reason, you need to select your database and apply borders for your database. Select your database, apply the border. Only then, while printing, it's going to display rows and columns. Now, if I go to page setup dialog box, you have print preview option here. If you click on this, it is going to show you rows and columns. Okay. Again, if you want to go to the dialog box, click on page setup. So one is you can change the orientation. Again, if I want to change it to portrait, select portrait. That is vertical. Again, click on this. You have paper size. When you're printing the content, now it is a soft copy. You want to take a hard copy of the data present in your worksheet. So when you're taking a printout, you can select the paper size, whether you want to print it on A4 size or A5 size paper. Okay. If you select A4, based on your paper size, width and height will be changed. Okay. So as of now, default it is letter. Next, you have this margin. So even in your notebook, either in the ruled notebook, you have some top margin is left side some margin is left, bottom also margin is being left. Okay, so that formatting will be neat. Similarly here also, top margin, if you want to still more increase, you can increase the top margin to 1 inch, bottom 1 inch, left and right also changes can be done, but this is the default value what it is showing you here. Okay, if I make some changes, you can see the changes there. If I say OK, see, top margin is left 2 inch. If you have some more content, then the content would have stopped here. Okay. If you don't want, you can again change it back to whatever value was present earlier. Or I'll change that to 1 inch. You can go to page setup, margin. While printing, now immediately after 1 inch, the content is printed from the corner. But if I want my content to be in the center, by giving equal space on my left hand side and right hand side, then you can select this horizontal, center on page, horizontal. If you want equal space to be left in the top, bottom, left and right, and on my paper, the content should be printed in the center of the page, then you can select both horizontal and vertical. Now the content will get printed on your page in the center. If you don't want, you can change this back. I don't want vertical, I don't want horizontal. So it will print on your paper after 1 inch from the left hand side. Okay. Any doubts in this? No doubts? No doubts? Okay. I'll be marking the attendance. Please join who has not joined or who has left. I'm marking the attendance, guys. Okay. Next, you have header and footer. So header is the information which is going to be printed on top of your page. Footer is the information which is going to print in the bottom of the page. In the header, I can have company name or the logo can be inserted in the header. So in the header, I can have company name or logo can be placed on your header. In the footer, you can have page number. So now if I want to include header, I'll click on this custom header. So whether you want on your left hand side, center or right, you can decide. So I'm going for center selection, center section. So NICT computer education. So I've typed this. If I want to make it bold, increase the font size, apply, underline, click on this A, that is your font dialog box will appear. You can select whichever font you wanted. You can increase the font size. You can make it bold. If you want underline, you can select underline. Then click on OK. So in the top of the page, I want to print as NICT computer education. I'll click on OK. Go to custom footer. In the footer, you can have page number, date, time. So you can insert page number. If you want even time, you can click on this insert time. As of now, I'm selecting only the page number. I'll click on OK. Again, click on OK. Now you can see in one sheet, you can have n number of pages. Okay. In this sheet, I have only one page. If you have different contents in different pages, okay, then you can check it out. What are the contents present in same sheet in different pages? Okay. Again, I'll go for page setup. You have sheet. Okay, under sheet. Now suppose if you have changed the background color, foreground color. So how do I include? Select your database. Go to home tab. You can select whatever formatting you wanted. Okay. So while printing, if you don't want color, so I can go for page layout tab. There, setup. You can go for sheet. If you want black and white, go for black and white. Click on print preview. While printing, it's going to print black and white. Again, go to page setup. If you want color, then no need of selecting any of the option. If you have a color printer, you can take it in color. Again, click on this. If you want draft quality, go for draft quality. Okay. If you want even row and column heading while printing, I want row and column heading to be printed. Then you can select row and column heading. While printing, so what should be the order of the page? So this one, I'll just show you here. Now in this, I am in sixth sheet. In sixth sheet, you are in first page. Default, you are working in normal view. In normal view, it will not show you header and footer. Header and footer is visible only in print layout view. In print layout view, it will show you header and footer. Again, if I come to normal view, it will not show you header and footer. If you go for this page break preview, you can see now it is showing you only whatever content I have typed. In the corner, if you just drag it, you have n number of sheets. Okay, n number of pages. In the sheet, I have n number of pages. If you keep dragging, number of pages will keep increasing. Okay. Now, what is the order of the page? First page, second, third. It is like this. Then fifth page, sixth, seventh, eighth. Okay. When you're taking the printout, what should be the order of your page? Go for page layout. Go for page setup dialog box. Under sheet, over then down means first, second, third, fourth page, and then fifth page. It will be in this way. First, second, third, fourth, then fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Page will be printed in this order. If you want over then down, then my order of printing will be first page, fifth page, second page, sixth page. It will be in that way. Okay. Any doubts you have? Any doubts? Are you people there? Only one person is there. Huh? Okay. So we have different types of view, that is normal view, page layout view, and page preview. In normal view, always you'll be working in normal view. In page layout view, if you have included any header and footer, that will appear only in page layout view. But while printing, it's going to print on all the pages if header and footer is included. But footer, it keeps varying for each and every page. Page number will keep changing for each and every page. So in page break preview, you'll come to know in one page you have 40 lines. If you want still more, you can reduce it or you can increase it. Okay. In one page, how many lines you would like to have, you can make changes here. Okay. See how many rows and columns you want to have, you can make changes by dragging that dotted lines. Okay. So instead of going to margin and then selecting custom margin, okay, you have directly selected all these things from page setup dialog box. From here only you have selected. So in page setup, I can change the orientation, I can select the paper size, I can set the margin, and while printing on your page, you want the content to be printed in the center of the page immediately after the top margin, or if you want you can select both so that the entire content will be printed in the center of the page by giving equal space in the top, bottom, left and right. You can include header and footer. So header is the information which appears on top of the page for each and every page in your worksheet. Footer is the information which is going to be displayed in the bottom of the page. You can include the page number, you can include date, time, okay. Then while printing, whether you want to take the printout of the content in color or black and white, or whether you want to include row and column headings, this can be selected. And while printing, what should be the order of printing? Okay. So these things can be selected from your dialog box or individually it can be selected here. And one more thing, when you open Excel workbook, when you open Excel workbook, default font name is Caliber, font size is 11, text color is black. Okay. But if I want to make some changes, you should know this. What is the default font, font size, font color when you open a blank workbook? Okay. That is the default settings. Later, you will be changing the font. Now, if I want some changes to be taken place, you have here theme. So, you have built-in themes available here. Whichever theme you wanted, you can select it based on the selected theme. Now, you can see my default font has become another font. Font size is changed. Text color is changed. Formatting has changed. Okay. So there are preset themes, built-in themes, which has got some styles. Whichever style you wanted, you can select it. See, based on the theme what you have selected, even the row and column heading style also has been changed. Next, I'll go to Insert tab. Here you have illustrations, you have shapes. Click here, you can select oval. Once you select oval, shape format tab will appear. You can select whichever color you wanted. Again, I'll go to Insert tab, illustrations, shape. You select some other shape. Again, you can select the color, whichever color you wanted, select it. Again, go to Insert, illustration, shape, select some other shape, select the color. Now, these are three different shapes present here. If I want to rotate it, you have rotate option here. You can rotate. You can rotate it like this. Or if you want to bring the circle in the front, select circle, bring forward. So bring forward or send backward. Okay. Suppose if you want to group this, these are three different shapes. If I want to group them, hold the, first select the shape, hold the shift key, then select another object. Again select one more object. You have group option. If you group it, all the three groups are combined. When I'm trying to move it, it's going to move together. Okay. Again, if you want to ungroup it, under shape format tab, go for ungroup. If you click on ungroup, now click outside, all the three shapes are separated. If you want to combine, select it, hold the shift key, select one more shape, again select one more shape, group it. Once you group it, I can move all the three shapes together to different location. If you want to ungroup it, go to group, select ungroup. Click outside, then you try to move it. Suppose if you want to increase the width and height, you can increase the height or the width of the selected shape. Now, like this. Okay. You have here selection pane. On this, it will show you what are the shapes available and which is the shape at present selected. It is oval. If I select triangle, triangle is selected. If I select rectangle, rectangle is selected. If I don't want to view this shapes, you can click on hide all. If I click on show all the objects are visible again. Either I can hide or I can display it. So this is your worksheet. If you want grid lines to be displayed, click on view. Grid lines are removed. Again click on it. Grid lines will be displayed. While printing, if you want grid lines, click on print. Okay. If you don't want heading, heading will be removed. Your row and column headings are removed. While printing, if you don't want, you can remove. While printing, row and column headings should not be printed. You have this background option. Click on background. If I don't have any images in my login, I can go for online image. Choose whichever image you wanted. Click on insert. So your image is displayed. But if you see this in the print preview, so here in the page setup, if you go to print preview, it's not appearing while printing. See, image is not displayed. Okay, it's only in your worksheet this background is appearing. It will not print on your page. If you want to remove this, click on delete background. Only the content what is present in your worksheet will get printed on your page. So either you can go to file, print. Okay, then also you will get this page setup dialog box. This dialog box will come. If not, you can go to page layout. You can select margin, orientation, size, everything individually. Instead of individual selection, I can go for page setup. I can select it from here through the dialog box. So print means whatever data you have in your worksheet is a soft copy. If you want to take a hard copy, then you can go for print. So when you're taking a printout, you should check which is the printer connected to your system, whether you want to print the entire workbook. Entire workbook means if you have 3 sheets, each sheet is having pages, each page is having different content, whether you want to print the entire information. If you want only active sheet, if you are working in sheet 1 but you have 3 sheets, in 3 sheets you have different content, I want to print content only from sheet 1, then you can go for print active sheet. Whichever sheet is active, only that sheet content I want to print. Suppose if you want to print only the selected content, you should select the content, then you go to file, print. Here you should select selection. Selection means only the selected content will get printed on your page. Suppose in active sheet you have 10 pages. If you want to print from 5th page to 10th page, I don't want from first page to 10th page. I want to print from 5th page to 10th page. Mention the page number here. Only that content will get printed. So how many copies you wanted? So this selected content, if you want 5 copies, you can make it as 5 copies. Or default, 1 copy will get printed. Any doubts? Any doubts you have? Okay. So today I've told you about date functions. I've told you about page setup. That is page layout. So you have to practice all these things. We have still some more functions left over that I'll be continuing in tomorrow's class. But if you have any doubts, you can ask me now. So after completion of this 30 hours, we will give you the link. It will be MCQs. Okay, today we will just end up the session today. We'll continue in tomorrow's class. Thank you.